I have just come back here. I was in Europe playing various places. I have one situation that I've been enjoying playing with, and it's kind of become my quartet with very interesting young guys who like to improvise also. And I get calls to join different people in different situations as kind of a side man. And I still enjoy doing that. I do pretty much the same kind of music, so it's still an improvising situation on the great standards, All the Things You Are, and those kind of tunes. When I found out that there's an unlimited possibility for variations on these songs, and I can go and play with three guys from Italy, they all know All the Things You Are. So they say, what do you want to play? I say, All the Things You Are. And they say, good. In Italian, they say, bene, or whatever they say. So that makes it possible for me to continue traveling around playing, which I'm very appreciative of. First of all, I am not designing my music to please the public, so to speak, so I can do whatever I want. And that means sometimes nothing much happens. That's the chance you take if you're really trying to start from scratch. Not only alone, but with three other guys in this kind of situation who are willing to do that also. The idea is that somehow you study and practice this craft. And for me, when I take out my horn here, I improvise. To me, that keeps it interesting when I'm not really prepared and delivering a finished product already, similar to what a classical musician would have to do. I could never do that. I wouldn't be good at that. Well, that's the way I started. That's the way we all start, just poking around, noodling, and trying to find where the keys are and things like that. And I made a profession out of that. I still find new key combinations and things like that. Just through listening to the music when I was young, that inspired me. The bands that were popular then, our popular music. Benny Goodman and Count Basie and all those guys were broadcasting on the radio. Gave us all similar basic information, theoretical information. So we knew what the changes were and all the possibilities that would go into making up the structure of a tune. Just suggested that we get to know the great players so we know what the great solos felt like and sounded like. Slow practice is very essential. I start out that way just to make sure that I'm feeling each note. The faster you go, the less feeling each note gets. I've never been able to improvise at a really fast tempo very effectively, unless I smoked a lot of pot at that time, but I don't do that anymore, so I stay around the moderate to a little faster than moderate tempos. From the very beginning with Tristano, we went as far as the music affected us or whatever, and sometimes it went completely out, totally free, and then came back into the more conventional swing. So there are a variety of ways of getting free, based on nothing, based on something, based on a standard or original tune or original progression. And I feel like I can really make it up as I go each time, a little differently. How different can you arrange 12 notes without getting bizarre or gauche or avant-garde? I try to play as melodically as real to me, and it's possible to rearrange those notes and rhythms to come up with something that's a little bit different, sometimes a lot different. And I'm always absolutely amazed that 12 notes can deliver this much music over all these hundreds of years. I'm famous for playing sharply, but that's part of my sound. That might be that going to the top of the pitch to get some more brilliance out of the sound or whatever is part of my sound. It's different from Charlie Parker's or whoever else's. Developing whatever kind of sound I had, and it was feeling secure enough, I guess, so I could represent it somehow without too much inferiority or whatever, because there he was, the master. And I shied away from copying his solos like everybody else was doing. Finally, I said, to hell with it. This is the master saxophone player. And so I studied his solos and used the material in as personal a way as I could, because I couldn't identify with that life's experience. I don't know what to attribute it to except my physical makeup and whatever control I had of making a sound on that particular instrument.